Let's get into some wide receivers on the waiver wire. Start with Nico Collins. Plays at Dallas. Did a bit of work on the weekend, Nico Collins, and he's the number one guy.
The whole reason I was doing the whole bit about Denny Carter and stretching that out is so we didn't have to talk
about Nico Collins?
Well, we didn't have to talk about how bad the wide receiver. I feel like there's pretty good options at quarterback and running back.
Usually it's the other way around. Right. Usually it's good at wide receiver, bad at running back, but this week not so much.
The best option is Nico Collins, who's available in 71% of the leagues. He's had 36 targets over his past 4 games, at least 7 in all 4. Double-digit fantasy points in 3 of the past 4. But, even with this massive volume, he's been, okay. He bailed you out with a late touchdown last week against the Browns, but, 3 for 35, 6 for 44, 5 for 48. Kyle Allen might be the worst quarterback in the NFL that's starting for a team right now.
It's just funny that he needs 10 targets to get 3 receptions, which is not ideal. It's not very efficient.
That's the point. It's just, and so if Brandon Cooks comes back this week, we'll see. They're at Dallas, this week. And that's our best option.
Yeah.
You don't love him at Dallas. Again, he's getting volume. He's not doing much with it. I like the player.
Yeah.
But
we might have Mack Hollins ahead of Nico Collins if we knew that Hunter Renfrow and Darren Waller weren't getting activated for Thursday Night Football against the Rams. We've got to monitor that situation. But if they're out, then Hollins has value.
Yeah,
relatively.
The thing about Mack Hollins, right, and it doesn't look like they're going to play. As we've talked about earlier, they play the Thursday night game against the Rams. And so Mack Hollins, who's had at least 4 receptions in 3 straight games, he's playing over 90% of the snaps. He's had, double-digit fantasy points in 4 of the last 7 games, 9 targets in 2 of the past 3. I like Mack Hollins. He's a little bit big play dependent, but against the Rams this week, you're not super scared about it. No. But again, whatever, he had 8.5 fantasy points. When I tell you this is an ugly list, It's an ugly list. Next up on the list is Isaiah McKenzie against the Jets. This is, I think, if Mack Hollins is a floor guy, Mack Hollins is 8 to 12 fantasy points basically. Gets you that. Again, he's playing a ton of snaps. They're throwing a lot in Las Vegas. Isaiah McKenzie is kind of could be awesome, could do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. And against the Jets, you don't love the matchup against that secondary. As we talked about, you want tight ends and running backs against the Jets. And, Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis are going to take the bulk of work.
He's had at least 1 red zone target in 3 of the past 4 and 5 or more receptions in back-to-back games. So starting to come along as well. So I don't mind him, but I just think he's a little more boom or bust.
Yep. Also probably boom or bust is Corey Davis, who did a bit of work against Minnesota, got that great 4th and 10 reception, and he plays the Bills.
He's tied. Correct, and we expect him to be throwing a lot there. 10 targets last week in his return for the Jets from Mike White. You like that. He's playing at least 74% he's played 8 full games this year. He's played 74% in 6 of those 8 games. He's had over 70 yards in 4 of those 8 games here.
10 targets last week.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. It's just, like Mike White was looking for. Mike White's thrown a lot, but we expect him to throw a lot at Buffalo. And by the way, look at the Jets' schedule coming up, as we talked about with Mike White. So at Buffalo this week, which, again, we're not scared of because they're banged up in the secondary and we think Jets will have to throw. Home to Detroit, home to Jacksonville, at Seattle. You love that schedule.
Yep. Speaking of Detroit, DJ Chark against Minnesota, favorable matchup against a pretty weak pass defense, and DJ Chark coming off his best game of the season.
Yeah, season high in catches and yards in Week 13. He's had 5 or more targets in 4 of his 5 healthy games this season. And it is worth noting the Vikings allowed the most yards per game to opposing wide receivers. Having said that,
it's still DJ Chark.
It's still DJ Chark. Whatever. They have other weapons, right? DeAndre Swift getting healthy. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to lead that team in targets. Jameson Williams got 8 snaps. We expect his role to increase as he continues to get healthier and work his way into the offense. But, there's a reason he's 5th on this list in a week.
Yep.
But he's DJ Chark, and it does have a favorable matchup in a game which we expect a lot of points to be played. Finally, Marquez Valdes-Scantling.
Yeah.
What are you going to say about this? He's had 55 yards in 3 of the past 4 games. It was worth noting that, they went back to him. He had the bad drop, and Mahomes went right back to him last week. So,
yeah, a little bit of consistency from MVS lately, as much as he can ever have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is all damning with faint praise.
All right.
I look forward to Denny Carter talking about these names in his robe, wearing in a coffee mug. Later on the NFL and NBC YouTube channel.
Let's get the hell out of this segment. Let's leave it behind. Let's leave Nico Collins, Isaiah McKenzie behind. When we come back, tight ends. All right, let's look at some defense, special team streamers, Matthew. What leaps out to you here?
Yeah, the fact that we shouldn't even be talking about this because the league should not be playing with defense or kickers. Everyone should be doing super flex. But for those of you that are playing in leagues with defense, and I still play in some of them too because I have stubborn commissioners, how about the Chiefs that play the Broncos this week? And by the way, after the Chiefs, they're at Houston, home to Seattle, home to Denver again. Like a great playoff schedule or coming up here for the Chiefs as well. Steelers there available. Worth seeing, and it's available in like almost 70% of leagues. Their Steelers have Ravens and a backup quarterback, and then they're at Carolina. By the way, and you see, Titans against the Jaguars. Maybe they win one for John Robinson.
Sure. Why not?
They rally the troops as well. Raiders at the Rams offense. Cardinals against the Patriots offense, which has really seemed to struggle. And how about the Chargers? Okay, they get Miami this week, which you don't love, but then Tennessee, Indy, Rams. So 3 straight matchups of so-so offenses.
Fairly favorable.
Favorable after Miami this week.
Steelers are the one I like there because of the schedule against Tyler Huntley and then Carolina, and also just the upside that TJ Watt and Minka Fitzpatrick give you.
That defense has played better since TJ Watt is that.
He is that
guy that just makes an entire defense so much better.
All right, let's jump into tight ends, and let's start with a popular name in this segment every week, Greg Dulcich.
Yeah, look. We left him for dead, and then all of a sudden, he gets 8 targets in Week 13, 6 for 85. Cortland Sutton left this game early, which I think maybe contributed to as well. He's day-to-day with a hamstring injury. Worth noting that the Chiefs, in a game in which we expect Denver to have to throw, Chiefs are allowing touchdowns to tight ends at the 6th highest rate this season.
Yeah, I like the imagery of we left Greg Dulcich for dead, like he's Uma Thurman in Kill Bill Volume 1.
Yeah.
Greg Dulcich.
Yeah, exactly.
On the streets after the wedding.
And now he's coming back for us.
Now he's coming back for us.
He's got an eye patch and everything.
Yeah, exactly. All right, what about Evan Ingram, who, again, is always vaguely uninspiring but can produce?
He did get the touchdown last week, 7 targets in Week 13 as well. Worth noting the Titans allow the 5th most yards per game to opposing tight ends. And in 5 of the past 6 weeks, he's run at least 30 routes. So he's available in over half of Yahoo leagues. And finally, speaking of the Tennessee Titans, Chiggy?
I was wondering if you were going to try.
We're going to get Chiggy with it. I'm getting Chiggy with it.
Okay.
I'm not going to try his full name. I apologize that it's not an insult. I don't want to insult the man. I don't want to.
It's Chig Okonkwo.
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 Yeah. Chig Okonkwo, who's had now back-to-back games with 5 targets. He's had a 30-yard reception in 4 of the past 5 games. Treylon Burks may miss this game. They don't have a lot of pass catchers in Tennessee. So, yeah, get Chiggy with it.
Get Chiggy with it.
In Week 14.
Dear God. All right. Get jiggy with it. Yeah, I think the tight ends, all of these guys, again, as we've spoken about all the time, it feels like they're all 3 receptions, 39 yards, and then they all have a 25% chance at a touchdown.
Yeah, it's ugly.
Yeah,
it's ugly.
And that's the nature of the tight end position.
We started strong and we ended ugly.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is what we do here at the happy hour. We will be back tomorrow as well. But listen, it is closing time, which means you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You got to get the hell out of here.
Go get jiggy with it.
Yeah, get jiggy with it. So for Jay Croucher, at CroucherJD on Twitter, I am Matthew Berry, TMR. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. Peace out. Hey, it's Matthew Berry from NBC Sports and RotoWorld.com. Just want to thank you so much for watching what you just watched, or at least being too lazy to click out of it after the autoplay just kept it going. So either way, thank you so much for just letting it scroll by your screen. And now I'd like to ask you respectfully, please subscribe to the NFL on NBC YouTube channel for the latest NFL news, fantasy headlines from RotoWorld, and betting analysis from NBC Sports Edge.